Not 3 times if the Habs are going to win the next 2 games. My name is Paul Kalemir. This is Habsolutely coming to you live from downtown Niagara Falls, Ontario, Canada. We're going to do a real quick sound check here. John, give me a couple of hoo-hoos.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, we got good levels. Drew's on his own over here with his computer.
Y'all.
The reason we're late today is because we do have a special guest in the studio. Drew Deeks is in the house.
He asked the special guest.
Drew Deeks.
Hey. Well, I just, got off work early, and I thought, why not, boys? I knew you guys would be here. I tried to call John, and the call wouldn't go through, and then I tried to message Paul, and I was like, you know what? I'm 5 seconds down the street from where I work.
What the hell?
Here I am.
There you go. And this is awesome because we're in a new year.
Happy New Year, guys.
And everything's going great. Of course, this is my co-host, John Fillion.
Bonjour, mes amis. Ça va bien?
Ça va bien.
Woo!
And of course,
love this jersey, too.
You
got a new jersey.
I got a new jersey.
We all wore red today, too. We all have the red jersey.
No. Yeah, let's be
Habs,
clear.
Not New Jersey.
Let's be clear.
Drew's a little bit myopic today, if you know what that means.
I always walk in off the street. You guys know how.
Yeah, he is. He's a street person. Hey, you know what?
Drew walks on the wild side.
He does walk on the wild side.
You know,
because today we have Drew Deeks doing the video instead of me. If anybody out there, Vince Hudon, anybody, wants to text me, 905-353-7560. My phone is open. You can text in today. How about that? How about that?
Do it.
Très bien.
That is awesome.
C'est magnifique.
So, Habsolutely, brand new show, New Year's, Happy New Year.
Happy week.
Happy New Year.
Happy semaine.
Happy Cement. Happy New Year.
What a week we had.
Well, John, I have to
what a
say
month of December.
That since we've been doing this show, I have not been able to sit here and talk about a week like we just went through. And we've been doing the show for almost 3 years. We haven't been able to sit here and talk about a week like that. And this week could be more important to the future of the Habs than any other week that I've seen in the last few years. It's huge. And we didn't just win 3 games. We beat 3 of the best in the NHL. 3 Stanley Cup winners in the last 5 years.
Yes.
2 teams in our division.
Yeah.
Yes, that too.
And we also now put people on the score-watching binge because now we're watching Ottawa and Pittsburgh. We're only a few points behind them for a wild card spot. And this is what I wanted to see. 500 hockey since October. I said that. If we can have 500 hockey, we're going to be in the hunt. We are in the hunt, ladies and gentlemen.
This isn't 500.
John and Drew, what do you have to say?
This is 500 hockey. This is 1,000 hockey.
It really is. I'm over the top about this. I think most Habs are.
I mean,
the Habs are.
Habs have fans, too.
Who really expected that the team would win all 3 games?
Well, we didn't.
I don't think
that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Anybody had that penciled in.
No, not that I know.
Anybody who says they did, they're probably lying. But kudos to you if you did.
But, I mean,
I thought we'd beat Tampa.
The team made a big move. 2 big moves, really, prior to this cement.
They really did.
Yep.
The Laine and Carrier.
Well, Jacob Dobbs.
And Dobish bringing him.
Dobish.
I've been yelling for that for a month.
And we talked about that a week ago, how Monty was playing way too much. Something had to be done. And they did it.
They did.
They made their move. And so kudos to the management, Ken Hughes, MSL, and as well the shining light of bringing in this Carrier.
Yeah, he has steadied the back end big time.
He is exactly. He is like full. Like he's reliable.
Yeah, and you notice too how Caden Gooley is now on his natural left side with him, and then Arbor Jacki has quietly been playing the best hockey. Probably.
Yeah, he's been good.
The best defensive hockey.
Now, who was it that said get rid of Barron at the beginning of the season?
Was it me? Oh, it was you.
You're the one who said I haven't given up on him yet.
Yeah, I was probably being too...
gone a long time ago.
Well, you know what?
I was being too nice to him.
He went at the right time because we brought in this defenseman Carrier.
And that's another thing that I said. We need bona fide players that can play.
It's all about...
There we go. Thank you very much.
It's all about these things happening at the right time.
Yes.
Exactly.
And that's what this rebuild is about. It's having that patience. It's building that culture.
Timing is everything.
That's what my wife says.
Yep.
That's what she said.
They all say that, right?
Yeah, they all say that.
But it's true though. Like, my gosh, like the panic button was what we talked about second week of October. We were hitting it.
Yes, I was for sure.
You know what? It's also important to not get like too overexcited, but we should be excited.
We should
be happy. Yes. Like,
we should be happy.
We should be very happy.
It's
we should be very happy.
This is fabulous.
We deserve this. I think we deserve this for how patient we've been. But the Canadiens...
If it's a heartbringer of things to come, we have lots to look forward to for the next 3 months.
If they're playing this well...
Next 3 months, we have a lot to look forward to for the next 7 or 8 years.
Yes.
That's the way I'm seeing this.
Good point.
Yeah. That's the whole thing, that right now.
This is like part of the beginning.
Yes.
And it's still early in the beginning. But we're
turned the corner.
Like it's like the Titanic. James Cameron would tell you.
Yes.
From
your
Niagara
former
Falls.
classmate, right? I'm serious.
Classmates.
These guys went to school with him.
We went to school with James Cameron.
With
He
James.
would
No
tell
joke.
you how it takes a long time to turn that Titanic around, and that's what's happening. We're
going to miss the
turning-
iceberg.
We're turning the Titanic around.
Now, you were predicting a Stanley Cup in 2030. I said 2026-27. I think I'm going to be closer.
Well, we'll find out.
Well, I mean, we're all excited now.
We'll find out.
But
what I'm excited about is that they're also changing.
Nice shirt, by the way.
Like they're
Thanks,
changing that culture. The idea of like they're creating the winning habit.
Yes.
It's not just about...
And it's also about how you play hockey on a game-to-game basis, and doing things correctly.
And you've been preaching that since the beginning of the season. Well, actually, since last season. And now we're seeing it come to fruition. And I love it because this is something that John has always preached on. It's about building a culture.
And that's what Hughes and MSL are all about. And they know it takes time. They're taking the heat as it comes because people, are impatient. But, I mean... We're not like getting rid of the coach. We're not throwing people aside. We are saying we're sticking to the plan. And that's what's the most important thing is if you come up with a plan, the only way your plan will ever work or succeed is if you stick to it.
You gotta stick to it.
And that's the thing, I think. There's always musical references for these guys.
I don't know which one that was, though.
Neither do I. I mean, I never really do.
Well, there's a song with that in it.
Oh, okay.
I just don't know what it is.
Exactly.
What time is it?
It's time for Habs Trivia.
That's right. Then we're going to get into the games. Then we're going to get into opinions. Then we're going to get into all kinds of crap. But for now, it's Habs Trivia time. And I got a good one.
Well, it's great too because we have Drew here as well. So it's like,
Drew's not going to get this one. And you're not going to get this one.
Well, Google just might get it, though.
Well, if you got Google, yeah, you might Google. You got Google. Habs Trivia. Okay, we were blown away when finally, after months asking for it, Jacob Dobish skated onto the ice and went to work throwing a shutout against the Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers in his league debut.
C'est très bien.
Which thrilled us Habs fans. It thrilled us.
It's happened before.
But he wasn't the first Habs goaltender to make a start and get a shutout.
I think there's been 6 or 7 other goalies who have done it.
My question is, who was the first Habs goaltender to get a shutout in his first start for the Habs?
Oh, that's a good question.
I know the list of players that you're about to mention, but I don't know
who's first. Well, let's see.
I know who's in it.
You're not bragging.
You and I can figure this out.
There's
Mark
only
Denis.
about 4 of them, so there's not a.
Is Mark Denis one of them?
Well, there's no such guy as Mark Denis playing goaltender.
Let's hear.
He did play for us. He got a shutout.
Let's hear the names.
No. Okay, number 1, Wayne Thomas.
Oh, I remember Wayne Thomas. Wayne Thomas played for Niagara Falls Flyers, correct?
I think he did. Yes, Wayne Thomas.
Yes.
Sounds like
Number
our former mayor.
2, Jan Dunny.
Oh, what did I say? Mark
You
Denis?
said Marcel or something.
I said Mark Denis. I meant to say Jan Denis.
Name.
I meant to say Jan.
Jan.
Denis. Okay.
It was not him because he was the most recent.
Exactly.
So 3, I know it's not him.
Bobby Perreault. And number 4, Bill Durnan.
Bill Durnan. Well, Bill Durnan is like
big name hockey goaltender for the Montreal
Bobby
Canadiens.
Perreault, I've never heard of. Okay, Bill Durnan.
If you've never heard of him,
Bill Durnan played in the 40s. Ambidextrous goalie. I think we talked about him before. His gloves were built with fingers in both of them, so he could grasp the stick.
You know what I'm starting to gather from...
He played ambidextrous.
You know what I'm starting to gather about you, especially from the goalie picture you sent me at the forum? You're a real goalie guy, aren't you?
I played goal.
That's what it is.
Absolutely.
I figured it out. Look at his face. How do you think it got...
Before masks.
Ooh.
He's an octogenarian.
He's an octogenarian. You better believe it.
There you go.
That's like my favorite thing from this whole show.
So everybody out there in video land, okay? There's 4 choices here. Wayne Thomas,
Durham,
Jan Dunny, Bobby Perreault, who, by the way, a little fact about Bobby Perreault, the uncle of Gilbert Perreault, you might have heard of him.
Ooh.
Oh, well, that makes that interesting.
And Bill Durnan, who's a Montreal Canadian goaltender, was just fantastic back in his day.
Yeah. So
who was the first one to get a shutout in his first game with the Habs?
Here's how we're gonna go backwards a bit. So
his first game in the NHL,
Gilbert
by the way.
Perreault played in the NHL in 1971-ish. Okay?
Gilbert.
That's
Gilbert
when I think
Perreault.
the Sabres onboarded.
He was around there, yeah.
So
with the French
he would have been
connection.
about 20, 21, 22. Okay? So his uncle would probably be at least 40 to 50. Probably 50-ish, we'll say. Okay?
Oh, this is getting interesting
if we go back maybe 30 years.
Yeah.
Okay, from 71, it goes 61, 51, 41.
Yes.
So he's playing around the same time as Bill Durnan.
So is Durham.
So I'm going to take Bobby Perreault.
I'll take Durham. Durham? Is Durham?
Yeah, Bill Durnan. Durnham.
Yeah, Bill Durnan.
I'll take Durnan.
You're going to take Bill Durnan? Okay. What about you out there in video land? What do you think it is?
Make it fast.
And let's just clarify this. It's the first goaltender on his first start with the Canadiens as a rookie. Not just some guy who came from another team and had a first start with Montreal. There's only 4 of them.
Absolutely.
Right? And the correct answer for all you Habs phobes out there, Habamaniacs, is Bobby Perreault.
Well, kudos to you, because I had no idea.
Elementary, my dear
Watson.
Drew Deeks.
My Drew Deekson.
I got the jersey on today.
Yeah, the Deeks jersey. There it is. The big one.
Where's the Duodeka? I thought you had Duodeka on one of your jerseys.
That one's on its way.
Okay, so Bobby Perreault played for the Habs in the 55-56 version.
55-56. Wow.
Yes, and the 3 others to round out the 4 players were
when
Wayne
did Durnan play?
Well, we're going to get to that.
Hold on, John.
The other 3 to round out the 4 players were Wayne Thomas on January 14th, 1973.
Right.
In a 3-0 takedown of the Vancouver Canucks.
Nice.
Saving 18 shots. Jan Denny on October 12th, 2005 against Atlanta in a 2-0 win, handling 32 shots. And, of course, Jacob Dobish with his 34-save performance against the Panthers in a 4-0 win last Saturday night. Now, Bobby Perreault was a 5'8" 170-pound goaltender who worked the minor leagues for Trois-Rivières, but also played 31 games in the NHL between 55 and 73 for the Habs, Detroit Red Wings, and Boston Bruins. He also managed 1 game in the WHA, the World Hockey Association, with the Los Angeles Sharks.
Los Angeles Sharks?
Yeah. Now,
who were they?
His nephew was Hall of Famer Gilbert Perreault. The Los Angeles Sharks, well, they probably became Los Angeles Kings, and San Jose came in with the Sharks when they expanded. Now, in that 55-56 season, Bobby played 6 games with the Habs. That's it. Registering the shutout in his debut with a 3-3 record in those 6 games, 12 goals against, a 2.0 goals against average, and a .931 save percentage. So, John, you've got a question to ask me about this.
Bill Durnan.
Well, have you ever wondered why the Habs didn't keep and play this guy with that record? Well, there was also a guy named Jacques Plante.
Well, yeah, for sure.
And you may have heard of him.
Absolutely.
Nice setup.
And he played most of the games. And the teams in that era were only allowed to dress 1 goaltender.
That night.
Well, they were only allowed in the league to dress 1 goaltender back in 55-56. Of course, that was a stacked Habs team with Jacques Plante in the goal. And they went on to win the Stanley Cup.
That's the start of the 5 Stanley Cup win.
That's exactly right, John. You got it. You got it right on. Unfortunately, in that season, a player had to play in 40 regular season games or at least one Stanley Cup final game to get their name on the cup. And Bobby didn't qualify.
So he never got his name on the Stanley Cup?
No.
And yet he won it?
No, he didn't win it.
Oh.
He played
He
6
just
games
got that first
for
shutout.
the team.
He got the shutout in his first game in the league.
He played 6 games that season. But
And they won that season, but he wasn't on the team at the end of the season.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't play enough games.
Now,
Right.
people are also asking about Charlie Hodge.
Charlie Hodge hadn't started playing for Montreal at that point.
No, but why did Bobby get the start and not Hodge? Because Hodge became the guy who played on Montreal with Jacques Plante.
Yeah,
Hodgepodge.
but was Hodge playing for the Canadiens in '56?
No, he wasn't, but they didn't call him up.
Right.
He was playing for the Seattle Americans at that time of the Western
Too
Hockey
far
League.
away.
Exactly. John, he's reading my mind, this guy. So Bobby
surprise me.
was one of the 3 goaltenders that were considered for the call-up. And because they were only allowed to dress 1 goaltender, they had to wait, and Jacques Plante got injured. He was out for those games. And the closest guy that could come in right away was Trois-Rivières and Bobby Perreault.
It's either that or the Zamboni driver. We all know that.
And you might have heard of some of these other guys, Ed Johnson and Claude Dutour.
Ed Johnson played for the Boston Bruins.
He did.
Probably.
Did you know any of this?
No.
No. It's way before your time. But yeah,
This is why I
Johnson
just sit and
played
listen
for the Bruins. That's
in
right.
this segment.
Now, Claude Dutour, I'm not a thing. But the 3 were ready available, but they called up.
But what happened with Bill Durham? You said Bill Durham.
He never played then. He was before that.
Oh, so he never won. He wasn't even part of it.
No.
I thought you had listed 4 goalies who would.
Well, I did. But Bill Durham wasn't one of them.
Oh.
No, he might have got. Now, don't get me wrong. Yes, he was. He got his first shutout when he played with Montreal in his first game in the NHL.
Right.
But he wasn't the first guy.
When did Bill Durham get it?
Maybe he did. I don't know. You're asking me questions I can't answer. I made this up. I just put names in. No, I think I put Bill Durham in there. Yeah, that's right. I put Bill Durham in there as a red herring to fool everybody because he was a big name.
I'm a red herring.
Wait a second. Who's your buddy Vince?
I'm a red herring.
McMahon.
Vince McMahon, make some comments this week and fill us in, okay? So I don't have to go and do the homework.
That's right,
I think he's got
McMahon.
bigger problems.
That's right, McMahon. But
I do.
anyway,
You know what? Dementia does set in.
I think I threw
as a centurion, I'm very careful to make sure I don't have it, okay?
I think
good.
I threw that in there because Bill Durham was a big name around that time, and I thought maybe somebody would bite on that.
Well, I was biting.
Did somebody bite on that?
I was biting.
You were.
I was feeding it to him.
Yeah.
Here.
Anyway,
Thank
there
you.
go. Bobby Perreault's the right answer. Vince Hudon, did you get it?
Oh my goodness.
And but that's
Hi,
funny.
Vince.
Yeah, I just threw him in there as a red herring. The other 3 I told you.
Hey, and you know what? Let's say hi to everybody out there. You know, continue to like us, subscribe to our channel.
Yes.
Leave comments.
Yes.
In fact, post some pictures. You know, we'd love to see some of the Habs gear that you have. I mean, today, you know, we have a brand new Fanatics sweater on, Monsieur Paul Lamire.
Yes, I got my new sweater.
I don't know what is your hat new as well?
No, I've had that hat for a long time, but it's a nice little toque. See, I wore the hat today because last week there was no heat in here. We were freezing our pucks off.
That's why. I mean, I got a flannel shirt on today.
There you go. See?
Underneath my Roots.
Yeah, the Roots jersey
My
there.
Roots.
The new Roots
Montreal Canadiens jersey.
Yeah, how do you explain that? Where does the roots come from?
In the Roots, the clothing store.
Roots.
Yeah.
Roots, the clothing store. In the 80s, I went over to visit my friend who used to work at the Avenue Road store. A guy named Raymond Perkins. He was, and this is interesting. He was kind of like the head of marketing back then and advertising. He is currently now the vice president of culture.
What's culture?
At Roots. Culture.
Oh, okay.
Culture.
The culture, the company culture. And you know how it's interesting because, you know, I'm always talking about how, and sort of the Habs talking about changing the culture within the
You're
team.
big on that, yeah.
This business has a guy who is like the director of culture for their business.
That's interesting.
Very interesting.
Because culture is a big thing in the workplace now, I would think, and Montreal is still a workplace.
Absolutely.
Playing on a hockey team is a workplace,
yeah,
right?
You're right.
You go to work every day.
So it counts.
Anyway, I went to see Raymond one day over at Avenue Road, and I was looking through all the new stuff that came in, and they had NHL jerseys that they had done, but they're like a little different. They didn't get the authority to do a particular NHL jersey. So they had Canadiens, of course, and they had a Leafs jersey, I remember, and Rangers, but it was like Canadiens jersey. Yeah, okay. I got it. Like Raymond, obviously, I'll take one of those.
Oh, everybody loves Raymond.
I'll take one of those. And so, yeah, as you can see the detail with the two Canadian flags
and the beaver.
I see now.
Roots did this little thing that is kind of with the wings,
it's like Bentley. Which is like a Bentley.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, the Red Wings, of course. Yeah, and of course, what's on the back of this jersey but
nothing. Oh.
Numero.
What other
Neuf.
Number 9.
The number of the
Here, come
best.
This way. There, got it.
Got it?
Yeah, number 9.
The number of the best hockey player who ever put on a pair of skates for the best hockey team ever.
Gordie Howe.
Montreal Canadiens, the Rocket Richard.
Richard.
Oui.
Norm Ullman.
So.
Let's talk about.
Okay.
And of course, I have the Roots toque.
Yeah, the toque.
And hats off to Raymond Perkins, wherever you are, my friend. Thank you for doing this great stuff.
Thank you, Raymond. Everybody loves Raymond.
That's right.
Do you want to do some video comments here? Some viewer comments?
Sure.
Okay, let's do some viewer comments for a second. At Habs for Life 41. Great show, guys. Love watching all year. Happy New Year from Vancouver.
Oh, wow.
Well, we thank you for watching, and please feel free to spread the word about our show. Happy New Year to you and yours. We love all our fans. We love the comments. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and to all the Montreal Canadian fans out in Vancouver,
we'll see you Monday.
Yeah, we will. We'll be
because we play you guys Monday.
The Knuckleheads.
Absolutely.
Bunch of Canuckers.
Go to the game and
Mother Canuckers.
Go to the game and cheer on your Hab team.
Fabulous.
All you Montreal fans in Vancouver.
Yes, we'll be watching for you and comment on our video. Vince Hudon. Vince says his first game was an exhibition game in Ottawa around 1977. He was in trouble for skipping school, and his father took him to the game and lectured him the whole game about skipping school.
That's
Got
hilarious.
you cornered, Vince.
That's not a lot of fun.
He remembers LaFleur and Schutt getting goals. His first Habs game was 1983 at the Forum against the Minnesota North Stars, and Habs lost. He goes on to say he's been to about 25 to 30 Habs games, since adding that he bought tickets for the Habs-Calgary game in the 1989 finals, thinking it would be memorable. Which
I speak English?
Which the Habs lost.
That's impossible.
Okay, watch it.
Well, I don't have good eyesight anymore. I'm reading it. Which the Habs lost at home, and Vince had to watch as the Flames skated around the Forum, hoisting the cup. That would be a nightmare, not a dream.
That would be no fun.
Friggin' Lanny.
Good comment, though. Vince, thank you very much for all your comments. And you did get a right answer to our trivia question about 19 power play goals in the season for D-Man. Do you remember who it was last week?
Sheldon Surrey?
Sheldon Surrey.
That's it.
At Dave Sumner, 68. Love hearing that story. More. You guys should branch off and give some of your music memories. Must have seen some legends. My brother was in Windsor in the mid-70s, was either working or at the Olympia or Cobo Hall. He saw many of the best at the time. Let's just see what else he has to say here. He's finishing it off. And I'm going, okay, but he loves, the basic thing of his post was, at the top of their game, the acts, between Buffalo, Hamilton, and Toronto, you must have seen some incredible acts and have memories. Fab storytelling, thanks. So he likes your tie-in with music to hockey, because every week John tells a story about that ties in the Habs with music, or hockey with music, Rush with music, Rush being a Habs fan.
Stevie Shutt, go to school with Geddy Lee and Alex Lifeson.
Exactly. So he thinks that's pretty cool, and he thinks we should do a show with music. And I'm going, that would be a great idea, except not for me, because John knows about music. I just sit here and listen to his stories like you did.
But back in the day, I mean, we ventured out. We saw a lot of concerts.
But Dave Sumner.
It's that whole pollination of going to an arena. I'm going to the rink tonight to see a hockey game. And maybe 5 nights later, I'm going to the arena to see a band play. There's a real pollination there.
Well, it's really funny. There is an intricate intertwining of sports and music. I mean, every game has the national anthem sung. Big games have top name rock acts or acts that are popular at the time. There's that link, and music has a link to everything, believe it or not. Like wrestling, you name it, music is involved. So anybody who's in the music industry for as long as John has been would know those links, and that's why it's so interesting, Dave Sumner. And thank you for that comment.
And how many athletes now try to get themselves in the zone, clear their mind with music? How many teams use playlists now to actually practice to?
And guys have headphones. They have noise-canceling headphones. They're always in pregame mode.
Right.
In the locker room.
They're trying to put themselves in a zone. It becomes a routine.
Music is a powerful state changer.
It's for concentration.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's the most powerful way to change, and the fastest way to change your state of mind.
And so many musicians love sports and want to wish they could be participating on their favorite sport team. And so many players who play music, vice versa, would like to play sports.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I mean, Rod Stewart was a great example of a guy who would play English football constantly.
Soccer.
With his mates, as they
English
say.
football. What the hell's English football?
It's really football.
It's soccer. It's called soccer.
It's football.
It's not the World English Football League.
In Europe, it's football, okay? And only in Europe.
But
big here now, too, soccer.
We'll definitely take note of that, and we'll try to include a few more sports.
And we won't call it English soccer.
Hockey stories, because they're all out there. They're out there for sure.
We'll take note of that. And won't call it English football anymore when it's soccer. Okay. Let's get to the games, boys. This is where we get excited, right?
Wow, what a week.
Before we get excited, we'll have to take a very quick commercial break because I have cameras.
Great idea.
But we are going to get excited in 3, 2, 1.
And you know what? I've got comments in all the games, but I'm not even going to read them because I think you guys can just comment on them. I mean, you know the score. Florida, we beat them at Florida 4-0. Game 7 of the Lucky 11, which I thought was so important for the Habs, and it's turning out to be exactly that. Go ahead, you guys. Take it away. What can we say?
What a statement game for the team. They decide to get rid of, or actually, not get rid of, but they put, what's his name? Primo on waivers.
You already forget his name. That's how much.
Yeah.
But you know what?
We want to forget his name.
But think about it. I mean, Primo cleared waivers.
Mm-hmm. He did.
So, I mean,
that was obvious.
32 teams.
Was there any doubt?
31 teams in the NHL. Yeah, there was doubt.
There was doubt last year.
Yeah,
there was doubt last year, not this year.
I would say this beginning of the year, but not now.
31 teams who have 62 goaltenders decided they didn't want Caden Primo or didn't feel that he would contribute to their team at this point in time.
He had the worst stats of any goal in the NHL.
That's right, ever.
At that point.
So we bring
ever, yeah.
So I mean, and I think at that point Monty had played 10 games in a row or something to that effect.
Yes.
So right away we put him in against Florida. Everybody is going, wow. I mean, Florida, like, what, the best team in the NHL?
Well, this stat here shows we had lost 9 straight games in Florida before that game, and to come in and shut them out with a rookie goalie.
But the deal,
amazing.
The deal here is here. I mean,
Stanley Cup champs.
Jacob Dobish, you can't take anything away from him. He played a great game. Okay,
it was a great team game, though.
The team as well played great. But whoever decided to put him in said, you know what, we're going to play him in the next 3 games. Which one do we?
I thought for sure he was playing in Tampa.
And the reason I think they put him in Florida because Florida lost 4-0 the game before. They knew Florida was ready for a loss, and they took advantage of it.
You know, and Dobish, I have to give the guy credit. He played great. But there's one guy who really stepped up that you guys got to acknowledge. That's Kirby Dach. We've been waiting for this guy.
I've acknowledged him twice in the last couple games.
We've been waiting for this guy to step up and show what he's got. And that game there could have been the start of something really, really good. We've been waiting for that second line to fire, right?
Yeah.
We said they're big and they're strong. And, they sent Slap back to the first line, a new hook down there. But we've really been waiting for Kirby Dach to hit his stride here. And this could be the turning point for him this season. What do you think?
Well, here's what I think. I mean, second line, here's how I thought about these goals. Second line, fourth line, first line. That's how they scored.
There you
2
go.
goals from the second line.
Yeah. And we said at the beginning of the season, this could be the line. We've been waiting.
That goal...
Line.
That goal also...
Line.
That goal as well made me think of another game called tic-tac-toe.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's the way they're passing.
Tic-tac-toe.
Bang, bang, bang. Like the team is on fire. Like they're executing like we've been promised. Like we've expected them to. That's why the team is coming together. Like they're really actually executing the fundamentals of playing hockey. And that's why this team is being successful. That first goal was a tic-tac-toe goal. Like the way they were passing. And so Florida, weren't ready for it. And that's what made that goal.
That goal was actually all started by Patrick Laine too, because he controlled the puck along the boards, got it up to Caden Gooley. He got it over to Newhook, and then Kirby Dach, honestly, he kind of whiffed on that shot, and he has had no bounces go his way this season, and that bounce went his way, and it went in, and that was like just such a big weight off. You saw the giant smile on Laine's face.
Well, that was a tic-tac-toe goal.
Yeah, it still was. It still was.
The
but I'm saying, like, he didn't get all of it.
He whiffed on.
Pardon?
You're talking about the goal between him and Lanny when they went down?
No, it's Doc's first goal of the game, which was the first goal, which came from Gooley and Newhook.
Yeah.
But like I said, Laine set up that, like, he maintained possession,
grabbed the puck,
got it to Gooley, to Newhook, and then it was still a tic-tac-toe. I just mean Kirby Dach didn't get all of it on that particular shot, but the bounce went his way.
Right.
So it didn't matter. But I'm just saying that he has had some bad bounces, and now he's gotten some good bounces, and we'll talk about his bounce in the Vegas game too.
Exactly.
So,
we got CC getting his 18th in that game.
And happy birthday to Cole Caulfield today, by the way, guys. I don't know if you know this.
I didn't even realize it.
Happy birthday, Cole Caulfield.
And how old is he today? 19?
20.
I would have brought my ukulele and we could have sang a song.
Well, if he's 19, we can go have a drink, at...
That's I'm pretty sure he's 24.
Francois.
He's 24.
We'll go down to Le Petit Francois on St. Catherine Street and have a drink.
That's a bar and not a...
I don't know. I just made it up.
Oh.
Yeah.
I make stuff up.
Okay. I love when you make stuff up, actually.
But that's a good name for a bar.
Did you know that, by the way?
Maybe we should open one.
Hey.
Le Petit Francois.
Let's be open to it. Niagara Falls' bars opening and closing all the time.
And we can serve him CC.
The second goal, by the way, in that game was also from Kirby Dach.
Right.
And Newhook, by the way, this was his first 2 assists of the season. So Alex Newhook has been playing a lot better too. The whole line has been playing better.
The whole line.
But this was all Kirby Dach on this goal. Actually, the pass from Newhook was a good pass, a very good pass, to send Kirby in alone on a breakaway. And Kirby made a sweet backhand move, and that was a great goal.
Yeah, he took the goalie, he took the goalie out.
Yeah, he did. And it was a confident move from a guy who hasn't had a lot of confidence.
He's going to the net strong.
Yes.
And with force.
Yeah. He's starting to remember how big he is again too. Like his size, Kirby's a big kid.
Well, he's also getting his confidence.
And he's getting his legs back because frankly, the guy's missed an entire season last year.
Yes,
and
that's a good point.
We've been impatient with him this season. I think all Habs fans have.
We've had
he has taken a lot of
expectations.
Hits. Yeah. And low results till this point.
Great expectations.
But it's really turning around for him. And then Jake Evans. Short-handed. I mean, that guy. Is he re-signed yet?
He's going to be resigned from the Habs probably.
I hope not.
I don't think the Habs are going to pay him. Well, you know what? It all comes down to what Hughes wants because we have Owen Beck waiting to come up, and Owen Beck is a center. He can score. He can probably replace him for a lot less money. If we can get
for 3 years.
Yeah, if we can get a major player for Jake Evans right now at his heat, and Hughes thinks the trade will work for the Habs, that's a piece they need. Like, I don't know what pieces he's thinking of getting next. Then he'll probably move them. If not, they'll sign him. I think it's just a matter of what he's seeing in the next few years. And John,
it also
he looks
has
ahead.
Everything to do with what Jake Evans wants, too.
Yeah.
Jake Evans may want to play for the Montreal Canadiens more than somebody else.
It depends. If somebody offers him $5 million, he's not going to stay for 3.
I don't think money's everything here, though. That's the whole point.
That's what I'm saying.
You don't think so?
No.
Not right now. Because
this might be his one chance.
Crazy or what?
The team is in its inception. The team is in its inception.
Well, I mean, he could see the future.
So, I mean, you know, if he's on a winning team and he plays for 3 years, he may think he can get another contract. I don't know. I don't know what's in Jake Evans' head. But I do know that we have a lot of people to onboard, and also, like Owen Beck is going to need a couple of years to actually season.
So there you go.
In the NHL.
Good point.
So it's going to be interesting to who does get moved and when and where, and that's what's going to be exciting to watch.
Yeah, if I had my pee, I would keep him.
I think so. I think it's too soon.
Everybody would love to keep him.
Yeah, I think why would you part? Like why change a good thing?
Well, only for one reason.
At one point, maybe it's going to be Christian Dvorak who leaves this team.
Well, he's definitely gone. He's definitely going to be gone.
Owen Beck comes in to replace Dvorak.
Yeah, and he's
Were you listening to the Sick podcast too?
No, not at all. I don't. I seriously don't. I watch these games and I try to make intelligent decisions, thinking of what Kent Hughes and MSL are trying to make.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
The only reason I said that was because Pierre Maguire said that, because I do listen to Sick as my friend's on the show as a producer, but he was saying that he doesn't think that Owen Beck is going to come in to replace Jake Evans. He's going to come in to replace Christian Dvorak.
Yeah, I think so too.
And that makes perfect sense because Dvorak is as good as gone. Like, he's the only player on this team that I can't. I'm not looking forward to watching more.
Put it this way: imagine that Dvorak that's the third line. Think about that.
Evans could bump up to the third line easily at this point.
I'm thinking the fourth line is the third line.
That's what I mean. They've been playing so well.
There you go.
Okay,
they've been playing so well.
That's what I'm thinking. When I say this fourth line, to me is the third line, but that's okay.
They've all been producing
because we're also speaking about lines going up against other teams' lines. So if we have the strongest fourth line in the league, constantly playing against weaker lines, and that fourth line starts to produce regularly, that contributes to the winning habit.
Look out.
It does, and it's really elevating like everybody's game because it's like starting with them almost. I mean, lately anyway.
Exactly.
Emil Heineman.
Armia
has been playing better.
I can play a little looser because I know other people are going to score. So I can maybe take a different approach.
I love Heineman.
And that comes down to the first line being more creative.
It's locked.
And they had, let's face it, the first line had a tic-tac-toe goal in the Vegas game.
He's got a key.
Well, I think
yes, they did, and they needed that too because we needed it from them.
And I think Marty at one point he said he wanted to roll 4 lines consistently. Through the game to split up the time.
Now he is, and defend on the defense too.
Yes,
they've been spreading out the minutes there.
Why and now we're seeing the ability to do that, like you said, John. It gives them flexibility. Now.
One of the reasons this team plays so well right now, and Cole Caulfield is a leader in this, is to make sure he only goes out for 30 to 40 seconds. He's very, very good at knowing when to get off the ice, so he never gets caught out and gets gassed. Because when you have players getting gassed out there and they can't play their full shift or play up to their potential during the shift that they're out there, that causes mistakes and that leads to opponents scoring goals. So
correct.
So the more you can stay away from those situations, the better. That's one of the reasons why this team now is so successful.
Okay, moving to the Lightning game, so we can get through these 3 games.
Yeah.
We played away. We played in Tampa. We won 5-2. Game 8 of the Lucky 11. And another game where win doesn't come easy for Montreal against these Florida teams. And being a back-to-back situation, it surely wasn't anticipated by me, although of the 3 games, I thought Tampa was the one we could win. And we did.
Yeah, we all thought Tampa Bay was the game that we could win of those 3 games. No doubt about that.
Yeah. They've had a little bit of a regression. I mean, when you lose Stamkos and you lose, I mean, on the back end, they've lost, what's his name? Number 98, the defenseman. Sergachev.
Thank you.
They've lost some of their oomph, and also Jake Gensel was out of that game. Vasilevsky was not playing in that game.
No.
So, to me, when I think of the Tampa Bay Lightning, that's 3 players that have been part of those Stanley Cup winning teams the last several years that weren't there anymore.
Yeah, and they're not the team.
Not in that game anyway. Like, I mean, Gensel's going to be part of that team going forward, but that's a game where we scored the first goal, and it's just like that buzz just like was still there from the last few wins. It's like, oh man, we really could do this. And then Brandon Hagel scores, and then Dvorak actually got credited with the second goal, which was a shot from Caden Gooley and Carrier, who again has been just a steady, like, my gosh.
Yeah, Newhook to Dvorak Evans with the winner.
Minutes.
And Evans gets the winner.
But, I mean, again...
that was Evans' 5th goal in 5 games.
Yeah.
Again,
that was outstanding.
Amazing.
The way I see the scoring here is it's the second line, the third line, the fourth line, the fourth line, the third line.
There you go.
We're getting that bottom 6 scoring, baby.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And it means so much.
It does.
It means so much. And this is all 5-on-5 played.
That Kucherov goal was weird, though, wasn't it? When they thought the puck was frozen.
That was a great goal.
Kucherov's goal?
Yes.
Well, it was the proper
it was a
call
great
from
goal.
the referee.
And that
it was a weird goal.
To me, you go to the net. No matter what, go to the net.
Absolutely.
Don't assume anything. And the defenseman for Montreal, there's a learning moment right there.
Yeah.
You should be going to that net as well. When your goaltender is looking around and you can tell he doesn't really know where the puck is.
He thinks he had it. But...
You better get right behind him.
Yeah. Sam Montembeault.
And that's something a guy like Jacques Laperriere and J.C. Tremblay did consistently in the 60s for the Montreal Canadiens.
Yeah.
That was a great goal.
Yeah.
That was a great goal.
Armia also had his, what was the third period
Kucherov
goal?
Stayed with it.
Never give up. Exactly. Stay with it.
You're
never
right.
give up on the
No, that's all. I've always been a proponent of that for sure. Like you never assume anything, and I've caught myself playing
when you assume something, you make an ass of you and me.
Of you and you.
Hey, you're in this too, buddy.
Okay.
This is your show. This is your show.
When you assume something, you make an ass of you and me.
Hey, that's not my fault.
What kind of a triumvirate is this?
But you know what? You know what was interesting though?
No, what is?
I'll tell you.
Okay.
But
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Qu'est-ce que c'est? We beat Tampa here, and like we're all on another big high. We beat both Florida teams, but then going into Vegas, it's like, okay. If we win this game, we're in business.
Yes.
Because, I mean, like, Vegas was and is second place in the NHL, just behind the Winnipeg Jets. And going into that game, it was basically the odds were stacked against us, and we went down 2-0. So I know I'm jumping ahead to the Vegas game. We didn't.
Yeah, that's all right. Let's move on.
But... But
it's like, yeah, you're right. I was like, oh, jeez.
I figured this was the end of the road. I'm like, okay, you know what?
And we know the record that we've had if we don't score the first goal. We're like 3-11-2 or something like that.
And and it's Vegas and it's 2-0 and it's like, okay.
But I didn't feel bad about that because I'm going. It's Vegas. I didn't really expect.
I didn't feel bad. I was just like
we're already in meatloaf mode.
But yeah. But once Caulfield got that goal, like they held him to 2.
That goal was a tic-tac-toe goal, but 2 by the way.
Yes, that's the one I was
referring
to.
But
was
once
gorgeous.
they got that, my eyes lit up. I'm going,
yeah.
You know what?
It was a beautiful.
Like Vegas could have run up the score if they were that great, and they didn't, and we got a goal. We could win this game.
Yeah, that gave the team hope.
I had a good feeling right then.
And that was Cole's 100th career goal.
Yes.
As well. So that was a big one.
The 19th of the season?
That was his 19th of the season, and it was his 100th
as career goal.
Montreal
Canadiens. You see
Canadiens.
the class... No, who was the class act? Oh, that was with Dobish. Gallagher skated the puck to him and gave him the puck.
Yeah.
That was a class move by Gallagher.
This team, it's really...
That's a team, Chuck.
That is the culture.
That's
a captain.
The culture is starting to show in the results
That's a captain.
Of these wins. And
subtle.
Yeah. But that's I just watch that and I go, look at Gallagher. He's got the puck. He's going to give it to Dobish.
And Gallagher's got 10 goals this season.
Yeah.
Armia's got 7 goals. Josh Anderson's got 5 or 6 goals. These guys that we've needed to produce are slowly starting to produce, and especially that forward like Heineman.
Oh,
how do you not love Emil
Heineman? Is
I love him.
Rookie.
Yeah,
he is in his first
rookie.
Full season.
So consider that. As we're worried about
love the way he plays.
Players leaving, we have so many other players that are coming still.
When I went to watch the rookies in Buffalo, he stood out, bar none above all the forwards.
That's what's so exciting.
You can just see it.
This team right now
is now playing at the top of their game, and it matches up with the elite teams in the NHL.
It does. We've proved it.
That's pretty exciting. So we are not just building a team to win a Stanley Cup. We are building a dynasty.
A dynasty, a legacy.
That's what they're trying to create.
That's what's exciting.
Dynasty.
You
guys have seen multiple dynasties.
We are working on a dynasty. A modern day dynasty.
I think 3 cups would be considered a dynasty.
A modern
right?
day, for sure. That's why I put that in. Modern day.
And I think like Pittsburgh kind of spread out their dynasty a little bit. Chicago did the same thing, but they won 3 cups.
They won 3 cups.
Chicago won 3, right? 2010, 2013, and 2015.
Something
Chicago?
like that.
Yeah. So that was a dynasty.
It's like 3 cups over 6 or 7 years. That's pretty significant when there's 32 teams in the league.
Yep. And guess who hammered home the winner in that game?
Kirby Dach.
Thank you very much. He's back from the dead.
Well, yeah, like that's what it feels like.
It does.
He was dead all last year. I mean, like
Night of the Living Dead. Hey, he's back, and I love it. I love it. I love it.
We were talking about where it was a 2-on-1, and he got a bit of a break that he was trying to maybe
because it looked like he was going. Patrick Laine is on the other side. Like you got to be watching him. So, and Aiden Hill is the goalie for Vegas.
Yeah,
and I wanted to mention on the Caulfield goal, he tried very hard to make that save, and Caulfield just beat him with a goal scorer's goal. But
here's the deal. I believe that Laine was waiting for the puck to come to him. The defenseman for Vegas was playing the 2-on-1. He had played Laine too far, and now it was like the goaltender for Vegas didn't know which way to go. He was kind of splitting. It's kind of like when you play blackjack and you say split them. You know, you get 2 cards the same. He was like halfway over, halfway still with Doc, and then Doc just happened to take the 5-hole.
And he went backhand,
and that's the key, and that's a key too. Is now as the Montreal Canadiens are starting to make all these great executions, now they have to start thinking about where they actually are putting that puck. So the Andersons and the Gallaghers now, they really need to start thinking about mentally. This is a goalie that we're playing tonight. When I get the puck in this situation, I am placing the puck at this on the goalie's short side, or his far side, or his 5-hole. They have to start thinking about those things, and they get a little more critical with themselves that way, a little more definitive, and there'll be more success, even more success.
Oui.
I think someone who hasn't been given enough credit to as a passer is Slavkovsky.
Well, Slav is playing amazing.
That was his 17th assist on Cole's goal, the one that we just talked about, the tic-tac-toe. And then he passed it to Cole again in the Tampa game at the end of the game for that one-timer. I mean,
Slav is going out, grabbing the puck around.
He is digging in those corners.
He's using his size.
He's out.
He is.
He's out grabbing the puck along the boards, and then he's throwing it out.
He is
and
an
he's
underrated playmaker.
Oh yeah, he's throwing it out to the right people.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean that's the thing. Suzuki is that's what he was born to do, is score goals. So when you see Nick Suzuki, and Nick is a smart, cerebral player, wins, does a lot of things well. Nick Suzuki's a Swiss Army knife. But Slav has been finding his guys, and it's been beautiful.
Here's
the way
the key. If you get to the puck first and you're behind the net, then make sure you pass it out to the guy who's open.
Yeah.
It's like
and they're doing it with little space sometimes, too, which is impressive.
Exactly. Do what you need to do to be successful. Don't say, I'm waiting for the puck to come out front. Oh, no, I'm waiting for the puck to come out front. Like, if you're the first one in, you got to go get the puck.
Yeah. And Liney's been doing that a lot better too. He's been doing that on his line. He's doing what Slavkovsky's doing on the first line.
Is in the same kind of
he's figuring it out
that Kirby Dach is. He's still working on getting his legs.
Yes.
And that's the one thing you can see.
And Newhook's got legs too.
That's right. But that's what's hurt that second line. And now that second line are starting to get their legs.
I can't believe we're 500.
Well, my commentary, I said if we get out of the lucky 11 playing at least 600 hockey, we would be in the hunt for a wild card spot. Right now, we are at a 667 pace with Chicago and Colorado to go. Both winnable games, by the way. If we did go 8 out of 11, we would be rolling at a 727 pace. We're flying. 727. And that's just what the doctor ordered, and I think it's entirely possible. After Colorado, Habs head back home for a dance with the Canucks. I just can't wait for these next 2 games, because if we can pull this off, we're gonna be in a wild card spot possibly. We got to watch Ottawa now.
So we're playing Chicago,
and then
Colorado
back to back,
and then Vancouver,
and then Vancouver
on Monday. So Friday, Saturday, Monday.
So a lot of travel.
I think the game against
Vancouver
will
be
tough,
home.
but I think the game against Colorado will be tough
at home.
Because
we're back home.
Like Vegas is like a heavy, strong, skilled team, whereas Colorado is a fast, skilled team. So you better you can't make many mistakes against the Colorado Avalanche.
Yeah, but I think we're just as fast as they are.
We're playing very fast.
But we got to beat
now.
Chicago first.
Yeah.
And I don't want to take anyone for granted. Like
Exactly.
I don't want to.
I totally agree.
You got to focus on one game at a time.
Yeah, well,
John.
I think we could beat
Absolutely.
Chicago. I think we could beat Chicago.
We can
there's no
absolutely should beat
guarantees.
them.
Chicago
we should beat them.
As Vegas said, I think we can beat Montreal.
Chicago is a
We
team.
avenged the game I went to. I can tell you that much.
Chicago is a team that we should beat. Like we talked about this over
Last
the last
week.
few weeks.
Yeah.
That there are games that come up that
Yes.
we need to win. That are games that we need to win
should
those
win.
games, and then we go from there. So
It'll-
Chicago is one of those games that we should win. So we need to execute and win that game.
Win that game.
When did this all turn around? In your guys' opinion, when did this all start to click and really
Well,
change for the team?
I think
When?
Laine had a lot to do with.
Yeah, when he came back, and
He
when Carrier came over.
That's correct. It was the weekend that we beat Detroit in the back-to-back.
Back-to-back.
And Carrier played his first first game with the Canadiens.
Yeah, but I think it.
That's when it really turned for me.
Yes,
After Laine started it. though.
Laine,
He started it.
You
started it, Laine.
Laine's contribution, you can't put a value to it.
No.
I mean, this guy
He's earning
came in.
8.7.
This guy came in and scored multiple goals.
Power play goals.
As power play goals, he inspired the team. He brings this good vibration to the
He
team.
really does.
You know,
He wears wild clothes.
so
The fashion plate.
from that, exactly. From that,
Culture.
with now these minute changes of bringing in another goaltender, bringing in a solid defenseman, then it adds up. If Laine wasn't there, and you would bring in Jacob Davis and
Carrier.
you wouldn't necessarily be having this conversation today.
I don't think Kent Hughes would have been quite as inclined to do that because the team.
You wouldn't have been having that conversation.
Yeah.
No, but Ken Hughes,
The team
I think,
didn't need that yet, maybe.
He needed to make some moves.
I think Dobesh needed to come in though.
You needed to change the goalie situation.
needed
no
the
matter
goalie
what.
situation needed
You
it.
had to have 2 goalies playing, and that's a key going forward as well. You need 2 goaltenders.
Yeah, Sammy can't play 10 in
can't
a
play
row.
all the games. And you needed to shore up and you get an opportunity to make the trade that Ken Hughes made. You snap it, you take it, and that's why Ken Hughes is the GM extraordinaire.
Yeah. Well, you think just about the back-to-back games. We have 15 of them this year, maybe the most in the NHL.
And that's why you need 2 goalies.
Yeah, so if you had nobody to play except for Montembeault, or the guy you're playing loses all of them, that's 30 points down the tubes. I mean, really, we need him to win. What did Walmsley say? Rick Walmsley was there. What did he tell us?
He's got to win at least half of his games.
There you go.
But the bottom line is, I mean, I don't mind a goaltender playing 2 games in a row, i.e., Jacob Dovish has a shutout. If I'm the coach, he's playing Tampa Bay.
Yeah, that was a bold move to put him in against Florida.
But I think that was a calculated move because he knew that Florida got beat 4-0 the night before. So I think that was a smart move and it was calculated. But I, myself, would have played him
Back
against Tampa Bay because
Tampa.
he's hot. Why would I not play another goaltender, a guy who just had a shutout the next day?
Yeah,
So everybody has their own ideas
of how to do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Marty was right.
That's why MSL is the coach.
And
I'm the podcaster.
you're an octogenarian.
I'm the podcaster.
You're an octogenarian. That's right.
But
Last commercial break.
But yeah, I
before we
love
wrap
it.
up.
I mean, we're in good shape here. 17-17, 500 hockey.
We're
just
going
gonna
to
do
commercial?
our last commercial break. Yeah,
Oh, geez. Okay, we got to go to commercial
Okay,
break.
yeah,
Everybody on the radio.
Yeah,
Before
this
we
show
wrap
is
up.
brought to you by Roots.
Yeah, if Roots will send us some money, it would be.
Yeah, it would.